Game Week 5 in the Premier League has come and gone, and as you can see, I did pretty well this week. We'll just get straight into it. I mean, Wolves, Liverpool, I predicted 3-1 and it was 3-1. Not too much to say. Wolves actually performed better than I thought they would. In the first half, they were very good. Pedro Neto looks phenomenal again. Neto put in a brilliant ball to Mateus Cunha, and he completely got it wrong. If it's 2-0 at that point, I don't know if Liverpool get back into it. But in the second half, Liverpool were very, very good. They got 2 goals quite late on, but they did deserve the win, I thought. However, again, I have been quite impressed with Wolves, and I don't like them. I hope they go down, but they have played well. Defensively, I'm still not sure on Liverpool. They're giving away too many chances, I feel. The midfield was, in the first half, was just terrible. You know, they still don't have a proper sitter, and I think when they play against the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Tottenham, they will probably get found out quite a bit. But so far, they've done very well, and their attack, you know, is just very, very good. Salah has taken on a new role now. He's much more creative. Aston Villa against Crystal Palace, again I predicted 3-1 and it was 3-1. This game was a bit controversial though. It was 1-0 to Palace until the 87th minute where Aston Villa equalised, and then Villa got a penalty. It was borderline. I mean, you could say he got the ball, and it was so late on that it completely changed everything. Personally, I did think it was a penalty because it looked like Richards took Watkins out and then got the ball, but there might have been very slight contact on the ball first. Could have gone either way really, and then they've finished it off right at the death with Leon Bailey after Moussa Diaby assist. In the first half, it was all Villa. Second half, Palace did grow into it. They scored very early on in the second half, and they had other chances as well to extend their lead. As they had a chance, Villa won. I said they'd win 3-1. Another one bang on. Fulham Luton, I said it was going to be 2-1 Fulham. Ended up being 1-0 to Fulham. I said it was going to be a close game, and it was a close game. And I thought Luton were actually really unlucky not to get something. They created a lot of good chances, and they hit the woodwork and stuff. Like, Fulham had 78% of possession, but they did not create as many good chances as Luton did. They did have a couple of chances themselves. Tete, Carlos Vinicius looked much more dangerous than Jimenez when he came on and he scored the winner. I think Luton definitely had some positives in this game that they can take through to their next 3, because they've got 3 very winnable games next. Wolves, Everton and Burnley. They need to get results in at least, I would say, 2 of those games. For Fulham, they've had a good start to the season based on their points, but performances just have not been there, and I think they will struggle. Even though Polinia did start and he did well, I just don't really think they've got enough firepower up front. Manchester United against Wolves, again I banged it 3-1 Brighton. It was 3-1 Brighton. Again, it's kind of how I expected it to be. Brighton just the better team. Rashford was so bad in this game, and he's so greedy. He just takes shots from anywhere. He just doesn't pass. He just tries to dribble through everyone. Like, what is he? He's not a young 21-year-old anymore. He's 25 now. He needs to start making better decisions on the pitch. But Brighton was fantastic, man. The whole team was just so good. Lamptey got 2 assists in this game. João Pedro scored a really nice goal. Pascal Gross, I said he was going to score because he always scored against Man United. He scored again. I don't know what Ten Hag was doing, man. He took Højlund off when they needed a goal, and he was probably one of their only threatening players. So I think his job should be under serious threat. I've made a video on Man United before this match that I haven't uploaded yet. I'll probably upload this one before that, but that video is coming where I talk more in depth about the Manchester United situation, because they are a joke right now. As for Brighton, they've got the European adventure starting on Thursday. They're doing really well in the Premier League. They should really be looking to finish in the top 4 this season. Tottenham against Sheffield United. I thought Tottenham would be a bit more comfortable in this game. Sheffield United, to their credit, made it much more difficult than it should have been for Tottenham. But the refereeing decisions in this game were horrendous. First of all, Foderingham should have been sent off. He got a yellow card for handing the ball out of the box, and then he wasted so much time. He should have got a second yellow. Tottenham should have had a penalty when James Maddison got tripped over in the box. Wasn't given. Then McBurney's sending off was really bewildering to me. It was right at the end of the game after Tottenham had taken the lead, but he pushed one of the Tottenham players over because he was getting his shirt pulled so he couldn't get into the box. And the referee gave Tottenham the free kick, and McBurney goes up to the ref saying, I was having my shirt pulled, and he gets a second yellow for that. That isn't a second bookable offence. Foderingham should have been sent off, yes. McBurney should not have been sent off. It was really stupid. You can't even go and talk to the ref anymore. What's the point? It's turning into a dictatorship out there. But Sheffield United really did bottle this. You can't be 1-0 up in the 97th minute and then be losing in the 100th. How has that happened? And it's against a very good side in Tottenham. But still, like, you can't be. Sheffield United can see there's so many late goals this season already against Forest, against City, now 2 against Tottenham. I do feel a bit sorry for them. This is another defeat that they faced. Another 2-1 defeat, another defeat by just 1 goal. They've had all 4 of their losses this season have been 1-goal losses, which, you know, is sad for them because I think they have done enough in certain games to warrant a point. Like against Manchester City, I thought they were unlucky not to get something. Even against Forest, I thought they probably should have. Against Everton, I felt they should have probably won. As for Tottenham, they've shown a real, you know, grit and fight now. Like, this isn't something that you really would have associated with Tottenham last season, where they would just let their heads drop and, you know, not try. Now that isn't gonna, you know, be allowed. Tottenham are serious contenders, man. I've made a video on them as well that will be uploaded soon. They look really good, even though they made hard work of this. This was going to be a difficult fixture against a side that are very solid defensively. Richarlison scored and got an assist, and that should do a lot for his confidence. West Ham against Manchester City. Now, this is just one of 2 results that I actually got wrong. I thought West Ham were good enough to get something from this. And to be fair, until the 75th minute, it was 1-1. Manchester City hadn't been in the lead at any point up to then. But that doesn't really tell the story of the game. Erling Haaland missed 2 open goals and 2 other one-on-one opportunities. He could have had 5 goals in this game. Doku, what a player that boy is. I mean, I know that already from my career, but holy, that boy is so good, man. Everything good came for him, man. Like his first touch, his goal was really nice. He created chances for Haaland. Everything about his game was great. Alvarez is really good as well. West Ham, I felt, were a bit unlucky. The second goal that Manchester City scored was easily preventable. Aguirre just completely misjudged his header and let Bernardo Silva score. Yeah, overall, Ward-Prowse was good. Edison had to make a really good save from a Kurt Zouma header. So West Ham definitely could have got something from this. Again, it was another decent performance from him. Not the most attacking performance, but you know, if you go and try and attack this Manchester City team, you're going to get picked open. Newcastle-Brentford, again, I thought Newcastle were going to be a bit more comfortable in this game. I predicted a 4-1 win, they only won 1-0. Again, very controversial here because the penalty that was given was, you know, a bit soft. It could have definitely gone the other way. I personally did think it was a penalty because Flecken quite clearly took him out. But it was also very smart from Gordon to put his leg where it was. And I also thought it was justice because Newcastle, just a couple of minutes before that, were disallowed what I thought was a perfectly good goal. Apparently it was a foul on Flecken. And I can see that, you know, Wilson did have his arm on him or whatever. But Wilson was also pushed into him. So overall, Newcastle were definitely the better side. Brentford did have chances through Visser, but they couldn't score. I thought Harvey Barnes played really well for Newcastle. Gordon was decent. Bruno played in a bit more of an advanced role because Longstaff was in the team and he looked really good. And it wasn't the best performance from Newcastle, but it was the result that mattered here, and they got it. Bournemouth-Chelsea. I said it was going to be a tough game for Chelsea, and it was. They drew 0-0. I thought it was going to be 1-1, but I knew it was going to be a draw. Mudryk actually looked really good in this game, I can't lie. He created some good opportunities. Little exchange with Jackson, which Jackson then took a shot and hit the post. Mudryk also set Gallagher up with a really good opportunity, but he just couldn't quite find the finish. Bournemouth did have a couple of chances as well, but overall I think Chelsea will probably be the more disappointed side to not get anything more than a point. But I do think the results will come for them because they are playing decent football, and they've been a bit unlucky because I feel like with the chances they create, they should be putting more of them in the net. But this was an issue last season. Jackson so far hasn't really looked like the answer because, I mean, he's having to do a bit too much in that front line. Pochettino really needs to start playing Palmer and Madueke to help him out up there. And it's another game where Bournemouth haven't won, but again, their starts of the season have been so difficult. They've got Brighton next. It's another game where I don't think they'll win, but they just need to be patient. They've looked quite decent this season, and once they get to an easier run of games, they will get points. Everton-Arsenal, I predicted 2-0 Arsenal. They ended up winning 1-0. Really good goal from Trossard. Like the finish on his weaker foot as well, fantastic. But it was just a really boring game, man. Not really much to say in this. Arsenal deserved the win, but it wasn't really. They didn't really create too many chances. And the final game, Nottingham Forest against Burnley. The other one that I got wrong. I thought Forest were going to win 3-1. Ended up being 1-1. However, Burnley will probably feel a bit hard done by. They had a goal disallowed late on, which was judged to be a handball. Personally, I think it was a handball because his hand does change the direction of play and it prevents the defender from getting there. But again, you could argue it was maybe on the sleeve. It was a bit higher up, so it's not really a handball. And right at the end, Foster got sent off for losing his head when he just elbowed the Nottingham Forest defender in the chest. I think overall Forest were the better side, like especially in the first 20 minutes, they were definitely better than Burnley. The rest of the first half was pretty even. A really good goal from Amdouni. In the second half again, I thought Forest were the more dangerous. Hudson-Odoi scored a wonder goal. This is why I think Burnley shouldn't be too worried, because this is also another tough game. They've had 3 very tough games. This is another one. So 4 tough games to start the season. They've got their first points. They've got more winnable games potentially coming on the horizon. And those are the games where you'd expect them to get the points. I don't think they'll get many points against the bigger sides this season. And they've got one here against a team who I think will do significantly better than them. And for Forest, again, it's probably a bit disappointing, but they've had a good start to the season, so they shouldn't be too disappointed with it. Especially considering they were the better side, you know, they'll be able to score goals. That's not an issue. I still think defensively they're not the best. McKenna and Worrell, you know, there are definitely gaps that you can exploit with them too. That's what I thought of the game week. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and I'll see you soon for another video.